I guess you've heard a lot the last 2 days about software and hardware. I think it is very important to talk about peopleware as a segment. I think it is the third leg, which is going to propel the auto industry forward. To say the least, if it is about if it is about how do you get software and people to work together, I think knowledge management is at the left and center of all that we would do. Uh, so I'll quickly go on and show you a film. Okay, today the value of any company is the quality of the people. There is no denying that, whether we are talking of development of the future or where we are currently. And, unless you manage your knowledge properly, unless you are able to really reduce friction in terms of, your data flow and insights, it is not really going to help any company. And I think that is going to be a key definer in any industry and as we go forward. More so in automotive. So yesterday a gentleman spoke about saying that if you take trucks, there are about 6 lakh variants. We are talking of SDVs, we are talking of so many different options in terms of fuel, etc., etc. So you can bet on the fact that there is going to be a very confused customer, and I think it will need people to solve for people's problems. And knowledge management would be the left and center of it, as I said. So today, if you look at some of the challenges that we are facing, so a car manufacturer globally has about 18,000 suppliers, okay, and we are talking about huge turnovers, especially in the last mile and the front end. If you're talking of sales consultant, the global turnover is about 46%. I'm saying, how are you going to manage? And you would need to communicate with customers. You need to be you need to be able to enable this final mile to actually deliver what you call customer experience. Right? And just imagine the amount of cycle time it takes to train people. If there is such a huge attrition, and if it is going to take, say, anything between 2 to 4 years in a technical, in a technical position, just imagine the amount of pressure it puts on the system. So this is to give you a rough snapshot of the kind of loss, that we suffer in terms of improper knowledge management. I would roughly divide this into two. One is about, forget productivity improvement. I'm saying that even if you are able to arrest productivity loss, you're talking of an extremely huge impact in terms of, knowledge management. So there are multiple applications. To give you this thing, these are 2 or 3 key areas: customer service and knowledge management. The customer is changing, market dynamics are changing, the number of players are changing. And, there is this constant conversation about operational efficiency and technology. And as I said, unless there is no friction and there is a seamless flow on either side, it is going to become really difficult to manage. And the amount of data which we are talking about is humongous. You would agree that, in the last 2 days, we have had such an overload. And it would be really helpful for us if somebody could actually give us a synopsis, right? And I'm sure all of you all will agree that all of us deal with more data than we can handle, right, on a daily basis. And, efficiency, productivity, all this is a given, in terms of innovation. We keep hearing these buzzwords time and again. But what is really important is, your knowledge management system is really aligned and responsive to some key operating paradigms today. As I spoke about humongous data, we all have a 1 TB pipe running into our heads all day. And customer experience is the nodal point. This is not going to change. I'm saying that we are talking of software-defined vehicles. We are talking of lifelong relationships. We are talking subscriptions, immersive customer experience. So it's not really going to change. People will continue to be, will need to be trained, will need to be managed very well within an ecosystem. And that element is what will bring everything together. Uh, so if you're looking at, the middle, people in the middle, I'm saying whether it is in terms of, how do you actually administrate, how do you manage? So there are some workflows. I'm sure that you all have seen some very complex workflows. There is a one small change you need to change in 25 different places. How are you going to manage all that? Unless the tool itself is an augmenter to a role, it is very really really very difficult to actually manage and leverage knowledge. I'm saying we can keep talking of data and information and this and that, but how much of it can we actually synthesize and actually use is the key question. And technology around knowledge management itself is evolving. The kind of people who are using it are changing. I'm seeing that people have severe attention deficiency disorders. You need everything which has to be available right then and there. There is so much which is ignored, right? Even in terms of, even if you have all available within your system, how many people actually access and use it on time is the question. So the tool itself has to be able to help people leverage knowledge. So unless the tool itself evolves and it's constantly innovating at the edges, it is going to be really difficult to be able to manage all the flow and improvement and development and technology that we are talking of. So I will hand this, at this point in time, I'll hand it over to Uday, who will give you a brief, intro about what we do at Kapture and how it has actually, all this has actually driven development for us.
Thank you, Narayan, for that knowledge management background. And based on the challenges that we discussed here, so there is a huge knowledge. If you consider an organization, there will be huge knowledge that's been created by the employees or the agents or the service executive who is supporting in different industry like automotive or education or a pharma, right? So there is a lot of vast information has been generated, but it is residing in a silos, right? You cannot find, suppose if you want to find some particular model service manual or workshop manual, you need to go through each and every layer of your email or a shared location. But instead of, what we have done is, based on all the challenges that we had, we did some competitive analysis and extensive research, and we have built this modern and innovative knowledge platform called Kapture. It's a Kapture knowledge management. What it does is, so how it helps your organization. So majorly, if you consider any industry, there is a knowledge creation and knowledge processing and knowledge rendering. And the set of authors will be available over the organization, like who will create the knowledge in terms of creating a new document or new service manual or a workshop manual of it, automotive related or a pharma related, right? So there will be a knowledge creation. So for that, what you are supporting is, by using our native authoring tool, you can create your own content and a dynamic structure. You can add the metadata and auto tag the information, and it will be indexed in real time without any delay. If we consider, for example, I just matched this use case to the automotive, since we are talking at the automotive related. Consider that you are in a car and you want to know the PSA value of your tires on your car. What you can do is, you can just query by using a voice search, right? You just click on your voice command and ask a query, and the infotainment will respond the answer that what is the PSA value of your car, tire size. So that we are providing very innovative and modern way to get the answers for the customers. Likewise, we have generated a knowledge management which process the information like kind of crawling. I'll show you the details here. So knowledge acquisition can be applied in 3 different ways. One is native authoring, or you can also have, suppose if you have any existing content that is been there, so we can, without any hectic, we can move all the content to the recently related knowledge management like Kapture. So we don't need to wait for much time. It will apply any real-time indexing. And also, specific to automotive, when you create some manual, it should be applied to the global level on different language. So we are supporting multilingual format and auto language translation. So you don't need to type each and every word to the translation locale. You can, in a single click of a button, the native language of English to Japanese or China or different language, you can converted, including the German also. Currently, we are supporting 42 language of translations. It is there for the multilingual translation. It will be much benefit for the organization. And also, during this course of knowledge creation, we should care about the customer feedback. Most of the places we leave the feedback of a customer and we keep it aside, will not improve the knowledge. So what we are going to do is, we generate a knowledge, feedback also will be collected, and it is an actionable feedback. Like, suppose if you read through the article and you gave some feedback, right? So that feedback will be sent to the native author who created that article, so that it will be actionable. It's not just residing in some email box or something. When he logs in back, he'll get an inbox. He has to work on that so that the knowledge will be improved and the customer will make happy. So that's the customer point of view. And within the organization, the knowledge acquisition can be applied through workflows. We are supporting serial and parallel workflows here. And for the knowledge processing, we have an advanced knowledge crawler where it will crawl any type of data like videos, photos, or images, and also this PDF files. So entire content of your PDF will be translated, and it will be indexed in real time, and you can search using the intuitive UI. So not only the native UI, you can also integrate this with your existing portals. And we can also crawl your microsites or a shared path like Teams, Microsoft Teams, SharePoint, and etc. So we do have inbuilt connectors, but that will be helpful for you to just sync your accounts to the Kapture. It will index in real time, and it will respond to by using some voice search or using a voice search also you can do it. So one other thing is the rendering of content. We don't need to use one single common web page. We can use any third-party application. Suppose if you have a complete data is in Salesforce, you want to render the results into the Salesforce, we have the connectors. We can integrate all the APIs to your connectors. So likewise, we are maintaining all different connectors where we can render the data into your own portals. And specific to users, we are going to provide the personalized analytics based on the user behavior. We can render the information to the recommended information. So that's how we built this complete acquisition of knowledge and processing of knowledge and rendering of knowledge. We'll just show you. So these are the major big companies that we've already worked on the knowledge management related. Just I'll take a few minutes so that here we have processed almost 3 million documents of these companies where we'll index in real time and provide the search. In the automotive industry, a service executive can perform a search using a voice search or a metadata search or a keyword search. He can get the information in real time. So these are the companies that we have already supported on this Kapture. And can you please on the audio? So that's all about the knowledge management platform that we built. And if you'd like to see the demo, we are at the R8 booth and we can meet and discuss the next steps. Thanks for your
Thank you.
attention.